Welcome to the NCAA Softball Regionals, presented by Capital One. Beautiful weekend set here in Durham, North Carolina as regionals get underway. It's the MEAC champions, Howard, taking on the 12th-seeded Duke Blue Devils in our opener on this fine Friday afternoon. Arizona Marshall coming up later, 2:30 Eastern. That game over on ESPN+. The winners will meet tomorrow at 1 Eastern in our action-packed three-game day, and we're all set for our final noon Eastern on Sunday. Those networks still to be determined. Alongside a three-time national champion, Jenny Dalton-Hill, I'm Chucky Kemp. It's the weekend we all look forward to. Regionals is so much fun, and it all kicks off today.
No, and the excitement, you can feel it in the ballpark here today. You get the hometown crowd with Duke Durham here showing up, but Howard has a lot to play for in this opener.
They want to make history, but they have to go up against a team who has been all history of their own on the offensive side of the ball, and it's a big reason why is that dynamic duo for Duke.
And Deanna Jennings is a complete five-tool player. She hits for average and power and also uses her short game masterfully. She is the all-time hits leader at Duke and is tied with Amina Vega for single-season hits. Right behind Jennings in the lineup is Amina Vega. Vega is the doubles queen. She led the ACC in doubles and holds the Duke career doubles record while leading this team in 5 different offensive categories. These two players are chasing each other for the single season hits record at Duke.
On the other side, it's the MEAC Player of the Year, Maren Jordan, who will try and set the tone for the Bison.
After graduating 7 of 9 starters, head coach Tori Tyson thought this was going to be a year of development. Well, the success of this group was unexpected. Senior Maren Jordan has led this team from the leadoff spot, highest batting average on the team, and her speed puts pressure on the defense to execute. She has some pop as well with a couple home runs.
Duke made 3 straight super regionals, but missed out last year on this field. For Howard, it's all about making history. First pitch is coming up next. The stage is set here in Durham at Smith Family Stadium, and the forecast looks beautiful all weekend long as we get ready for Howard and Duke. Let's take a look at the Howard starting lineup, brought to you by Capital One. Maren Jordan, Lauren Jones, last year's MEAC Player of the Year, Taylor Ames Alexander there in the 3 spot. This is a team that loves to run. The most stolen bases in the MEAC with 107, and that's also a top 20 mark in the nation. They will face off with a Duke right-hander and Mallory Wheeler, a sophomore from Jensen Beach, Florida. Jenny, we have not seen a lot of her lately, just a couple appearances in the last 6 games. Brief appearance in the ACC tournament. Big chance for her to get some momentum going in this postseason.
Well, she was the ace at her last school and threw almost 140 innings this year. That number down because of the support that she has in the circle. Does get the start here today. She throws mid-60s. Drop is her go-to. Confidently can throw up in the zone, but is vulnerable for the home run. Mix of speeds just keeps hitters off balance, and more than anything, she needs to keep her attention on not throwing through her spin and allowing the ball to move.
Duke hosted a year ago and came up short in the regional final and got to watch Georgia celebrate on this field. They are hoping this is the beginning of their journey back to Super Regionals after reaching them 3 straight years from 2022 to 2024. First pitch, swinging strike for Mallory Wheeler.
Getting ahead early, definitely the goal for Wheeler in the circle, but aggressive bats is what we're expecting out of Howard today.
Maren Jordan takes ball 1 low. Her second 50-hit season of her career. It's career best in hits, runs, home runs, RBIs, and walks for Jordan this year. She is a senior from San Diego, California. Did not go around on that pitch, 2-1.
And the intensity of this Howard ball club was really impressive yesterday at practice. You can tell that Tori Tyson has prepared this team to be successful.
Ground ball right side, Vega knocks it down. Too much speed for Jordan. That'll likely go down as an infield single for the senior star.
And that is not expected by the second baseman, Vega, who is so sure-handed typically. But as she went down for that ball, she caught in between going all the way out for the ball and staying on her feet. Caught it off the heel of the glove. Can't crawl back fast enough to get the out.
How aggressive will Howard be right out of the gates? It is a single for Jordan, and she is running, and she has second base. No, they called her out. She can't believe it, and I have to imagine we're going to see a challenge here from Tori Tyson.
And if you think about this, Tori Tyson does not have video review typically, and so the conversation needs to happen with the umpire first, and then I believe we can take this to review, but she'll have to ask. And there's the ask.
Well, just like that, a few pitches in, we got a review.
Howard is challenging the out call at second base. The call is under further review.
I thought in real time she looked safe, but Destiny Robinson was pointing at that back foot that's where it got tagged.
And with the slide by, it takes a little extra time at times to get there, but I think that's a good challenge by head coach Tori Tyson, because while the tag is applied, it's too high and very easily can see in that view right there. Great look by our camera crew that Maren Jordan's going to get her 18th swipe of the year.
We just wanted to announce ourselves to Pittsburgh that the Durham Regional is off and running, so we await the verdict from the Pittsburgh Control Center on this, but I think that we've seen it pretty clearly. Maren Jordan just stole her 18th base of the season.
And it's a great slide. When you go straight in, you make yourself vulnerable for a pretty easy tag, and so by sliding wide of the bag and getting that hand in there, makes for a really nice grab. Destiny Robinson, the umpire at second base, may have just had a little different vantage point, which made it appear to have gotten the tag, but I think we're going to see this call changed.
Crew Chief Scott Mayer back on the field to give us the verdict.
After further review, call at second base has been changed to a safe. Howard retains the challenge.
You saw the nod there by Tori Tyson, 1 for 1 this weekend.
And it's just so important to be able to have that video replay review in our sport to get the call right. It's not to show up any of our umpires. We appreciate all of their hard work. But in this moment, you want to make sure that you get the call right. But with the stolen base, now Marissa Young, the head coach for Duke, is going to challenge if Maren Jordan left early. Well, we were off and running at a pretty good clip, and
for 4 pitches.
Setting the tone early for making sure we get the calls right, but also disrupting some momentum early on.
What a swing this could be.
So you want to make sure that your foot stays in contact with the bag until the ball leaves the hand of the pitcher. Really nice lead, actually a late lead by Marin Jordan at first base. Shows you how fast Jordan is. Very clear that this one's going to stand. And what that will do is Marissa Young will actually lose a challenge. So each team starts with 2. If you are successful in your challenge, you retain the challenge. If you are not successful in the challenge, you lose that. So
here comes Scott Mayer again. He's been on the mic as much as we have so far.
After further review, the runner at first base did not leave early. It's Duke's first.
You got the gist of it. She did not leave early, and we have a runner on second base. Nobody out here in the top of the first. That's what we just did on our first batter of the game.
yeah, less than 5 minutes in, we've had 2 challenges, a stolen base, a hit, a miscue by the second baseman. I mean, lots of things going on here in Durham.
Now Lauren Jones at the dish for Howard, trying to play a little small ball and see if they can't plate a run here against the Duke Blue Devils in the opening inning.
Well, knowing that Lauren Jones is a slapper, not a lot of power, the defense is going to crowd her at the plate, play shallow, try to take away the short game.
Misses on the bunt attempt. Lauren Jones, last year's MEAC Rookie of the Year and a first-team All-Conference nod. Tori Tyson loves her athleticism, says she has great hand-eye coordination in the box. Does put this in play, and that'll essentially work as a sacrifice bunt, moving Jordan over to third.
Just so important to move that runner. So by pushing the ball to the right side, it gives the ability for Jordan to advance. And played right into the strategy of head coach Tori Tyson.
Year 8 for Tori Tyson, back-to-back conference championships. They have a 38-4 record in the MEAC over the last 2 years. A pitch laid off by the 3-hole Taylor Ames Alexander. She's clearly been able to attract talent to this Howard roster. Taylor Ames Alexander, a great example of that. Transferred in conference from South Carolina State, where she spent 3 years, to Howard. And she did it for this moment right here. Wanted to play in the postseason. And is a big reason why they are here right now. Their RBI leader on the year.
And these hitters very disciplined on the zone. While this might be some of the most velocity they've seen in this regional, they are trained. Yesterday, the pitching machines were humming in the batting cages because Coach Tori Tyson knew that this was going to be maybe a little bit of a different lift for her offense and wanted them to be prepared for more velocity and being able to hit the edges.
3-1 from Wheeler. Ground ball. And Jordan held it first. Now that she's coming home and she's out. There was some hesitation on the decision, and she is tagged out coming to the plate. A double play to end the inning for the Blue Devils.
You got to be aggressive on the base pass, and the hesitation at third by Marin Jordan is what went in to not being able to get the run. Great defense by Duke gets them out of a tight situation.
Duke escapes the first with nothing doing, but a chance for these big Duke bats to get on the board first. Let's take a look at the starting lineup brought to you by Capital One. Well, the top 5 are absurd. The bottom 4 seem to be getting better and better. Jess Oakland right there in the 3 spot. She's untouchable right now.
In her last 10 games, 5 doubles, 5 home runs. This is a hitter that is potentially the hottest bat in the lineup right now.
You're going to hear a lot of those trends for Duke over the last 5, 10, 15, 45 games. They have been absolutely excellent. They will face a sophomore from Haymarket, Virginia, who actually transferred from one of the teams in this region. She was at Marshall last year, but Aiko Conaway did not throw much last year. Just 1 appearance. This year, she's the conference pitcher of the year.
Well, not really utilized at Marshall. You're right, Chucky. She struggled to get comfortable and has really embraced Howard after feeling an identity crisis back in 2025. Has found a lot of confidence, and her love of the game is at a high right now.
Deanna Jennings lays down the bunt. Conaway's throw not in time. Jennings using one of her many tools to reach base.
Jennings has just evolved into the absolute complete player. I am so impressed with the way that this senior has shown up this year. She's able to hit for power, drop the drag right here, use her wheels down the line. She can also use her slap and run game. I mean, this is a complete player at the top of the lineup and sets up Duke perfectly with the number 2 Vega coming up.
Deanna Jennings said it's just a chess match for her at the plate. Has a lot of different things she can do, so it's always about reading what the defense wants. Vega hard hit ball, chance for 2. How about that? Double play. Wisdom Colbert steps on the bag and fires to first.
Yesterday, watching Howard practice, Lair Boutte, who is a recent collegiate graduate from Ole Miss, was firing ground balls at this infield. She said, you're going to have to be ready to play a lot of defense behind our pitchers. And obviously, this team came in prepared. Nice little double play.
If it's not 75+ miles per hour off the bat, you're not going to surprise this team, because Lair Boutte was hitting missiles yesterday.
They shocked us. I thought, I'm nervous for this infield. She was rocketing the ball. Conway's going to come in high 50s, uses her curve and screw to throw outside to batters, and needs to challenge these hitters inside to be successful.
Jess Oakland chased that pitch upstairs. It's a 1-1 count to a former Big Ten Player of the Year and a second-team All-American in 2024. Sat out last year after transferring from Minnesota. So the scary part is that Jess Oakland has another year wearing this jersey. She takes upstairs 2-1. I mean, all the different trends that you have for her. Mine is that over the last 11 games, she's hitting .634 with 5 home runs and 22 RBIs. Takes ball 3 outside.
And yesterday, listening to the head coach for Howard, Tyson continued to challenge her pitchers, saying you cannot miss over the plate. You will be punished, not by her, but by the bats that are be swinging in this regional. And so really hitting the corners is huge importance for this pitching staff.
Tori Tyson looking on, 3-2 count. They put up a 0 on Duke in this first inning. Oakland chopper left side, diving stop, but Oakland will reach. Third baseman Anaya Whipper keeping that on the infield.
Great range by the third baseman Whipper to be able to come away with that one, but as soon as she fell to her knees, it was going to be a difficult play to make over to first, knowing that down the line there's a little bit of speed for Oakland as well.
She stands 6 feet tall, the true freshman over at third base for Howard. First pitch ball to Tyrena Jones. This is a dangerous woman at the plate. She is the all-time or she's the single season home run and RBI queen at Duke. Those numbers being set this year with 20 and 75.
That's a really nice spot. I think that's one that Conaway, if she can show discipline on that pitch up and in, that's going to be a difference maker if she can get that call by showing that she has control over that location.
2-0 pitch is fouled out of play. Well, don't miss a minute of the action from the NCAA Softball Regionals. We'll take you to the best live moments on the 7 Innings live show on the ESPN app. You can see every game and every big moment on the road to the Women's College World Series only on the ESPN networks. That'll be Chris Budden and Alyssa Lang splitting duty alongside Tori Vidalis and Tara Henry. So some of the people who know the absolute most about everything that's going on throughout the country, and they will ping you around all the different spots.
I think that's maybe the hardest spot in the company here this weekend, being able to cover all 16 regionals and have everybody ready to go at the touch. I mean, I'm so impressed with the amount of knowledge that those two have, and it's one of my favorite things to watch this time of year because it really does give you a peek inside the action.
That's probably what we will have on as soon as we are done today, watching some of the night games. We are just one of 3 games in action right now, but in about an hour or 2 hours, it is going to be absolute madness across the country. 3-2 into deep center field and carrying, it's gone. Number 21 for Tyrena Jones.
Jessica Oakland gets the first one for Duke. Tyrena gets the second.
Even after a difficult double play where it looked like Duke was not going to be able to get much going in that inning, you're seeing a huge hit by Tyrena Jones. She is the one that everybody expects to be able to hit the ball out of the park, just extending her single season home run record, number 21 on the year. Coach Marissa Young says she's unexpected power, but they're so glad it showed up.
RBIs 76 and 77, that's top 10 in the NCAA.
And it's a great pitch on the outside corner. But with that, look at the extension that she's able to get to drive that ball over the wall. Huge home run by Tyrena Jones.
Ties the team program record with their 97th. This is deep to right center, and there's the record setter. And it's the daughter of the head coach, Marissa Young, Layla Lamar, the big swing to set Duke's single season home run record as a team with their 98th.
4 players in the lineup for Duke have double-digit home runs. Layla Lamar hitting her 14th home run of the season and sets the single season program record, almost 100 home runs as a ball club. And right now, even though Aiko Conaway continues to hit the corners to try to get strikes, these Duke hitters are driving the ball deep.
Now on to KK Mathis, pops this one up on the infield. Wisdom Colbert takes care of it. Well, retired the first couple on a double play, but a couple big swings for Duke, and they lead it 3-0 after 1 here in Durham.
The NCAA Softball Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
A record-setting first inning for Duke. Their 97th and 98th home runs of the season. That's a new program record as a team. They lost in the ACC semifinals. They'd lost 2 of their last 4. They'd really been on a roll. They won all 8 regular season ACC series. They've won 30 of their last 35 games, but 2 of those losses coming in the last few weeks. This is still, Jenny, an extremely dangerous team that has an offense that can carry them the distance.
They can, and they never panic. Even when they find themselves down in the score, they know that the bats will show up at some point. And so there has not been a lot of panic for this Duke squad, but getting on the board early here today, they seem to be in control so far.
Second inning of work for Mallory Wheeler after nearly giving up a run in that first, but a double play ended the inning. And so she only saw the minimum in that first inning. She faces Micaiah Taylor, the Howard catcher, to start off the second, and falls behind 2-0 in the count. Inside ball 3 to Taylor, who hit 2 home runs and drove in 5 in their first round win in the MEAC championship over Morgan State. All conference first team. That's the other thing too. Tori Tyson, you mentioned it earlier, they lost a lot off of last year's NCAA regional team, but yet again, they dominated the postseason awards in the conference. All conference team was littered with Howard players. Foul ball, Tori Tyson knocks it down.
Yeah, she's not afraid. She's like, I can body that one up and knock it down and get this game going. Just such a competitor over there in the third base box. Played at Nebraska. Coached with the Bandits back in 2018.
Left side, that is picked up off the dirt by Jones, 1 out. Tori Tyson has a ton of confidence in herself and what she can do at this program, and it has shown in the results. She took over, her first season was 2019. They were coming off an 8-win year, and immediately in year 1 jumped up to 19 wins. By year 4, they won 31 games, and they were MEAC champions for the first time under her. And now here they are with back-to-back NCAA tournament appearances, and have become just dominant in their conference.
I mean, just within the last 3 years, you're seeing the win totals completely flying high. This is a head coach that came into this program knowing that she had the tools to win, and she just needed to develop the players within the program. And so with that, came in, found some really good transfers to come into the program this year, and they're seeing a ton of success. A really gritty group.
1-2 count to Cheyenne Castile, the first baseman. Fouls that back. Castile having a bounce back year as a junior this season. She's a native of Eastvale, California. A really good freshman year back in 2024, but had a little bit of a dip last year. Takes outside ball 2. Been a disciplined approach so far from Howard.
Definitely, and I think the way that these hitters are approaching, they've kept their swings very simple. Not a lot of pre-pitch movement, and a lot of them do not stride, which takes away additional timing pieces. And that stride is something that Coach Tyson says, like, they need it, but right now they're having a hard time. It's messing with their rhythm. And so by taking away that stride, it does change their stance potentially. But with a focus on mechanics, Cheyenne Castile actually has the best hands, or the best hand path on the team with her barrel. And so by eliminating kind of the lower half of the swing, it's more just barrel to ball contact that is the focus in a lot of these Howard swings.
Good battle from Castile. That is up and in and fights that down the right field line foul.
Timing is such an important piece of hitting that's why the changeup and off speed are such important pieces of a pitcher's game, because disrupting the timing of a hitter is the way that you get them to miss barrels. So by eliminating the timing piece at the plate, it allows these hitters to be a little bit more simple in their approach to the ball.
Ground ball for Vega. There's 2 away. Oh, regionals continue today on ACC Network. Princeton takes on Stanford at 2 Eastern, and then UNC Greensboro and Clemson squaring off at 4:30. Both games on the ACC Network, and you can stream every pitch on the ESPN app.
I think my favorite part of this time of year not only is the excitement, but also the unique matchups that you see that you typically don't find in the regular season.
I'm going to be really interested to see, do any of the host seeds fall on day 1? And then what's the situation come about 4 Eastern tomorrow? When you're in the middle of that 3-game day, how many of these top 16 seeds have their backs against the wall playing an elimination game?
It makes it really difficult when you lose in day 1 or 2. Because then all of a sudden you play with added pressure. You know that another loss means the end to your season. Today, most teams can play pretty free, pretty loose, knowing that everyone plays again tomorrow. But when you play with added pressure, sometimes it speeds up your swing and speeds you up defensively.
1-2 up and in to Angel Riggins, the right fielder. Another San Diego native. A lot of California kids on this Howard team making the trek across the country to Washington, D.C. This is lifted to left field and lands on the warning track in foul territory.
So we talked about how mixing speeds can be a very good tool by a pitcher to miss barrels. Well, right there, way out in front of it, Riggins pulls it foul, and simply because of that speed change coming out of the circle.
Another ball fouled away. That was pitch number 34 for Wheeler, who has only allowed a hit, but Howard has made her work for these first 5 outs in the game. This, to me, Jenny, is the difference maker for Duke and for a lot of teams in the country. What do these other pitchers do other than their ace? This is hit off the base of the wall. It's going to be a loud single for Angel Riggins in what was a fantastic at bat.
Well, and it's so important to know your outfield and how to play it off of the wall. Deanna Jennings has been a staple in center field for Duke, and this is her home field, so she understands how this ballpark plays. So by getting beat to the wall, she understands that playing it off the wall is going to be the right way to handle it. Nice little one hop, and the strength of Jennings' arm, there's nobody that's going to try to get to second on that.
Wheeler misses high to Amira Lennon, a true freshman from Chandler, Arizona. She'll talk to her head coach, Tori Tyson, who said she is a track star. She is super fast, and said she actually came in this year as a hitter. Had never really slapped, and then they got to LSU. This was early in the year playing against LSU, and they made the change then, and she took to it really quickly.
They were doing some hitting drills in the hotel, and she said, no more swing away. You're going to start running through. And according to head coach Tori Tyson, Amira was not happy with having to do that. But what she's entered now is the 100 Bunt Club. She'll swing away next season, but right now they've taken away that swing away.
Well, Tori Tyson said, look, she's a competitor, but she was also not super happy with me. But she said they instantly got competitive at bats, they got results, and she said her hand-eye coordination is actually better on the move than they felt like it was swinging away. Takes strike one on the 3-0 count right now. Are you seeing a pretty consistent approach of patience throughout this lineup?
Well, you can tell they've taken on the demeanor of their head coach. And Amira Lennon, by moving her feet, actually changed her swing path as well and got swinging downhill, has a better angle through the ball. So that change, while Amira didn't like the change at first, has really been successful for her.
Riggins at first, 3-2 pitch. Chopped left side, Oakland jumps up and makes the play. A great stretch over at first by Stafford. Might have a challenge or not? We will not. I think Tori Tyson is okay with that result. And that'll do it for the top of the second inning.
Got to make sure you play defense in a high hop slap ball to the shortstop. Nice little stretch at first by Jayla Stafford, gets Duke out of the inning.
Three 0 beautiful day, great crowd already, and this early one to kick things off from Durham. Duke Howard trying to get to that winner's bracket game at 1 Eastern tomorrow. Arizona Marshall will be our next matchup at 2:30 Eastern over on ESPN+. Ton of great stories here in Durham with that Arizona and Marshall matchup, as well as these two right here. If you can find a team that loves their university as much as the Marshall players do, I would be shocked.
That really caught you off guard yesterday, but that matchup later today is actually those head coaches, alumni of their respective schools.
I'll tell you what, we got a pretty good 4 of head coaches that could field a solid core of a team right now between Marissa Young, Tori Tyson, Caitlin Lowe, and Morgan Zirkle.
And I also don't know if you could find 4 better female coaches in our game that represent what it is to be a mother and a head coach at a really powerful school. I mean, the only one in the group that is not a mother yet is Morgan Zirkle, and I'm okay with that because she's one of my big leaders on the Bandits.
Gabby Shattuck hits a line drive that just clears the left field wall. It left the stadium about a foot over the wall. I don't know that it ever got more than about 10 feet above the wall.
Gabby Shattuck just hit a line drive that I expected to hit off the wall, found its way over the wall. That ball did not get very high. What a great job by Shattuck to just try to drive this ball with a lot of power. Right at our camera, beautiful shot. Gabby Shattuck. Man, we've got 3 home runs in this ballgame. We were hoping to be able to break the record, but I didn't think we'd shatter it this quickly.
Now they're knocking on the door of number 100 on the season. That was number 99. It is a 4-0 lead for the Blue Devils here in the bottom of the second. Jayla Stafford's turn. Had a really nice stretch over at first base defensively last inning. She is also a San Diego native. Catches the inside corner, strike one. 12 hits in the last 12 games for Stafford.
Being able to hit corners is so important, and I'm really impressed by the way Conway is not afraid to go inside to these hitters. While that pitch to Shattuck leaks back over maybe a little too much of the plate to allow that ball to get out of the park fair, I'm impressed with the way that Conway is able to use her spin and try to find corners and not leave the ball big. That was something that her head coach said was going to be so important here today against these hitters.
There is that inside corner from Conway.
She's just got a lot of success right now trying to jam up hitters and is not afraid to challenge hitters on the inside part of the plate.
(3-2) fouled away by Jayla Stafford.
When you're not throwing a lot of change-ups or off speed and you're just trying to hit corners, you've got to make sure that you change planes as well. You don't want to just leave the ball big going east to west, but you've got to put a little bit of a dip or rise on those pitches as well to miss barrels.
Into left field. This will not have enough juice to the warning track for out number one.
When you talk about a good hit, sometimes off the barrel, you don't even feel it. But look at how fast this ball leaves the ballpark. There's barely enough time for the left fielder, Maren Jordan, to get back to the wall before the ball was out of the park. Gabriella Shattuck, she's one home run away from entering that double-digit home run club.
She's also really kind of entering that conversation of one of these elite Duke hitters right now, at least with the run she's been on. And that's what makes Duke so scary, is their top five have been pretty much excellent all year long. But when you look 6 through 9 now, those four bats are becoming pretty dangerous as well. This is just tanked foul into the tree beyond the left field wall. This is their 9-hole, Adeline Matthews.
I mean, Adeline Matthews is hitting home runs too. All throughout the lineup, you're seeing the ball leave the ballpark. It's a Duke lineup that is swinging with a ton of confidence and really backing up their circle this season by putting up a ton of runs.
Watches the 0-2 outside. Matthews, a true freshman from Tallahassee. Two and two. This will be a heartbreaking offseason for Marissa Young, seeing some of these seniors walk out the door. Now they hope this is a very long, fruitful postseason. But they've got talent in every class. They have some extremely talented freshmen. Ground ball left side. Whipper scoops it up. 2 outs.
Matthews made that close down the line. I mean, came out of the box hard, challenged the third baseman, Anaya Whipper, to make a really hard throw across the diamond to get her out. So Matthews has really embraced that 9 spot in the lineup, trying to flip things back over to the hottest hitters for Duke right now. Deanna
Jennings had a bunt single her first time up. Takes ball one. 427 on the year. She's got some power with 5 home runs. She's got gap-to-gap power with 13 doubles. She is 1 hit away from tying the single-season record that her and Amina Vega share at 80. This is the career hits leaderboard, which they are also both at the top of. So she is looking for hit number 300 in this at-bat.
And that's a part of her game that she's actually leaned into in the last couple of years, is that swing away. Because in her freshman season, when that rule change happened where slappers were being called for being out of the box, she found herself exploited, getting called out all of the time with that left foot crossing over out of the box. So leaned into swinging away, and now it's a very vital part of her game.
Swings away. There is her 300th career hit and 80th of her senior season.
And by swinging away, it makes her so much harder to defend. She has embraced the chess match of what it takes to be good from the left side. And with the ability to swing away now, she's got RBI power, has helped out her team by putting runs on the board. And then now you've got speed on the base pass because she's your stolen base leader. 16 swipes this season.
Between Vega and Jennings this year, they have combined for 158 hits. 80 for Jennings, 78 for Vega. You have to imagine that in the next couple innings of this one, tomorrow, potentially Sunday and beyond, that Deanna Jennings will easily break the single season hits record as she takes second. Amina Vega's going to top 80 as well at some point.
The crazy part about these two hitting back-to-back is the amount of speed that they've got on the base pass. When you talk to Marissa Young about these two, she says they've just got so their instincts between first, second, and third are so good, and by having those amazing instincts, they can take advantage and grab an additional 60 feet in situations that maybe other hitters or other runners are not really looking for it.
2-1 to Vega. 3-1.
The kind of speed you now have on second base also alters a defense, because if you don't pay attention to Jennings at second, she can swipe third if you're not giving her the attention that she needs in between pitches.
It is low, and Vega walks. Already has the single season walks record this year. That was number 38 for Amina.
And that's the part of Amina Vega's game that has continued to evolve, is just her patience and discipline at the plate. She has always swung a good stick, but this season has found a way to just be a smarter hitter in the box and has taken her walks, knowing that the bats behind her will show up.
Jess Oakland takes the first pitch inside. Tori Tyson out of the Howard dugout to have a chat with her pitcher, Aiko Conaway.
And if there is a pitcher on this staff that would go a complete game, it would be Conway. She has 9 on the season. But when we talked to Tori Tyson yesterday, she said, anticipate that when we are playing these games here in regionals, that there will be a huge mix of every pitcher on our staff to be able to try to disrupt timing and give different looks to hitters, knowing that this is going to be a really tough regional with the way that a lot of these teams are swinging the bat here at the end of the year.
They've already made history this year with a win over a Power 4 program. It was their first in program history. That came in Tucson at an invitational that Minnesota was at. They played the Gophers twice. They beat them in the second matchup between the two. They played LSU to a 1-0 loss earlier this year as well. So they've competed with some of the top teams.
Well, they also beat Maryland in the fall. And when you talk about that loss to LSU, it was a 1-0 loss, but that was a loss that a lot of this team says gave them the hope and fostered the belief that they were going to be able to be successful later on in the season. So then when they went against Minnesota, they came in with a lot of belief that they could execute and get a win. Pretty cool to see the way that this team has been locked in from the beginning, believing in the message of their head coach that they were going to be able to get here to regionals.
Oakland takes inside 2-0. Duke has also been very disciplined at the plate. Jess Oakland, with runners in scoring position this year, hits .538. (3-0). And Shaniko Conaway made one appearance last year. And a year later is the opening game starter at a regional in Durham against one of the best offenses in the country.
And this part of the lineup, though, you have to be careful with because we've seen 3 home runs and 4 batters. These next 2, though, went back-to-back with big home runs, setting the single-season home runs record here in this game here today.
6th time this year they've gone back-to-back. Tyrena Jones takes the first pitch inside strike 1. Will she let Layla Lamar have an opportunity? Bases loaded, 2 away, 0-1 pitch. Jones underneath it and angling out of the stadium.
I mean, Jess Oakland had to sit out last season because of the transfer rule and then was injured in the fall, missed the first week of competitive play. And so this is a hitter that here at the end of the season is just so grateful that she is able to produce, put herself in a position to help this ball club. And with bases loaded, she puts herself in a spot where she could give another 4 runs to the board.
Jones lifts it to shallow left center field. It is caught out there by Lennon. They strand the bases loaded, but it's another long ball for the Blue Devils.
I see you, Gabby Shattuck. Home run number 9 on the year. Line drive that got out of here quick. It was a quick another run up on the board. Duke with a 4-0 lead.
The Women's College World Series returns to Oklahoma City. Action begins Thursday, May 28th at 12 Eastern, live on ESPN. For more information on the 2026 Women's College World Series, visit NCAA.com, the home for all NCAA championships. Third inning of our first game here in Durham. One more later today at 2:30 Eastern. That's Marshall and Arizona. Winners will kick off our busy day of 3 games tomorrow at 1 Eastern. Swing and a miss by Wisdom Colbert at that 1-0 pitch. Colbert made a great defensive play back in the first inning to double up Amina Vega. Showing bunt, that is fouled back into the glove of Shattuck.
And Shattuck, just a freshman back there behind the plate, but you can tell that she has evolved this year. A lot of information had to be processed early on, but really settled in nicely.
It's into a weird spot out in the right field, but Vega tracks it down.
Not only is Vega so good on the infield of getting lateral movement, but that first step is an impressive one by Vega. She retreats very well into the outfield. Her right fielder and center fielder completely trust her, and the communication between those three is so important, with a lot of those balls having the potential to drop in shallow outfield.
Down to the 9 spot, Anaya Whipper. Takes outside ball 1. She is an imposing figure in the batter's box at 6 feet tall. True freshman, third baseman. Tori Tyson said she's young, but she is a sponge. Said she'll make in-game adjustments. She said she also doesn't have any idea how good she is.
One of the things she does know is how important she is in the 9 spot to be able to flip things back over to the top.
Ground ball, Wheeler fields it. 2 down.
And it's been the bottom of the lineup that Coach Tyson has said needs to come through. And so while they flip things back over to the hitters that have been a little bit more successful, it's that bottom of the lineup that needs to show up for them here in this regional to be able to get their first regional win in program history.
Jordan had the infield single to lead off the game, and then was thrown out trying to score the first run for Howard. Two-0 to Jordan. I asked her why this year, why is this the player of the year season for you? She just said, just relax, there's nothing to lose, this is it. Her motto this year has pretty much been be where your feet are. Said everything else has just happened from there.
And to be able to just enjoy the moment is something that I think comes with maturity, knowing that this is the end of the road for Maren Jordan in this uniform, and so to be able to perform here this weekend, there's not a lot of pressure.
Hard hit ball right to Oakland. 1-2-3 inning for Mallory Wheeler. Duke up 4-0, go to the bottom of the third. We'll talk to Howard's Tori Tyson when we come back. Welcome back to the NCAA Softball Regionals presented by Capital One. Going to the bottom of the third in game one here in Durham. We are joined by Howard's head coach, Tori Tyson. Coach, I know you're not in the spot you want to be right now, but there is just a fearlessness about your team that we are seeing on display. How has that kind of developed to get you where you are right now?
We established very early on in the season. They knew what time it was. We were not just going to be excited to be here. Unfortunately, for some of those people, even like Aiko, it's their first time here. But as a program, this is our fourth time, and we got to compete. And so they knew that coming in.
Well, Coach, you've got a special fan in the stands that maybe has a bigger opinion than others. How important is it for you to have Skylar, your daughter, here with you?
So important, which is why I was upset that my sister brought her late. I got to lock eyes with her. She's my biggest critic. So I do need to make sure I talk to her after this half inning and see what she's seeing. But being able to be a leader and be a woman on this field and leading young women and watching your daughter watch, there's no better feeling.
Thank you so much, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
That was something that Coach Tyson talked a lot about with us yesterday, how important it is for Skylar to see these strong, confident women in front of her, but also watch her mom not be afraid to chase her dreams while raising her and having a lot of tough conversations in the car ride home. She said, I grew up with a dad who was really tough on me and gave me a lot of knowledge on the car rides home, and I feel like I'm raising my dad now because those car rides home are her still telling me exactly what needs to be different on the field.
Well, Tori's got a number of players who played travel ball for her dad out in California, and one of those was their left fielder, Maren Jordan, who is really the star of this team, and she said she's basically the female version of her dad. Speaking about Tori and her dad, Marty.
But when Tori Tyson took the job coaching with the Bandits back in 2018, her daughter Skylar was 5 years old and went to stay with her parents while she was on the road with that pro team. And she said when she got back from there, she basically sounded like a mini version of her dad. And it just is carried through as she stays very critical of how not only her mom is coaching, but how the execution is going on the field.
Here's another daughter of a coach. Layla Lamar, daughter of Marissa Young, Duke's head coach. Already one home run in this game, and Layla likes when they come in twos. She has hit multiple home runs in 4 separate games this year and has 14 on the season.
Well, and the success that Layla has had this season has helped her mom relax and enjoy the process of being able to coach her daughter in a Duke uniform, who basically kind of grew up around this program as a young softball player. But Coach Young has realized that she is harder on Layla than she is the rest of the team at times. But the way that Lamar has been able to handle the pressure of being here in this uniform playing for her mom has been extraordinary, watching her success just flourish after a season at Florida that didn't give her a lot of opportunities.
Layla walks to lead off the third inning. Marissa Young told us that it was kind of scary bringing Layla in. And as a staff, they had to figure out the dynamic. She said sometimes early on, something would happen on the field, and the other coaches would kind of look at Marissa, and she said, look, you got to coach her even harder. And said that there was a moment this year when they were on a trip where Layla kind of broke down in the sense that just was gushing about how much she loved Duke and her softball sisters here. And Marissa said she almost lost it too, because that was very un-Layla-like.
Well, and to hear Layla say the phrase, "I've found my people," is really telling, because the pressure that you feel as a young athlete is extraordinary, but then also having to play for your mom in a big stage in the ACC is nothing shy of just heroic to be able to step in and be so dynamic in this space.
KK Mathis at the plate is 0 for 1 with a pop-up to the shortstop, Colbert. Senior from Westchester, Ohio. In the air, out of play.
And being in the DP role, KK Mathis has kind of found her niche. DP role is a very difficult role to fill because you come off the bench. You're not playing defense. You don't have the rhythm of the game typically, as you just sit in the dugout, maybe charting pitches and trying to stay invested in what's going on the field and just waiting for your next opportunity to pick up the bat.
Again, out in front of that pitch. Outside 2-2. One thing, you've talked about this a little bit, but Aiko Conaway, her misses have been close. They have been very competitive misses.
I just am really impressed with the way that Conaway continues to try to get swings and misses off the plate by just extending off of the plate by a couple of inches. These are not big misses by Conaway.
Back to Conaway, double play. More excellent defense from Howard.
And we've talked about it already, how hard Lair Butte was hitting the ball at these defenders yesterday. That ball, while it was scorched right back at Conaway in the circle, nothing compared to the way they were training yesterday in practice on this field.
This will be a big confidence boost for Conaway, who gave up 3 in the first, just the 1 off a solo home run in the second, to potentially see the minimum in this 3rd inning. Gabby Shattuck was that run in the 2nd inning on the solo home run. Takes the first 2 pitches and jumps ahead 2-0.
And this is another bat you kind of have to dance around. Home run in her last at bat. They challenged her on the inside part of the plate. She took advantage with the line drive home run over the left field wall. So just important for Conaway to dance delicately around the zone here.
Shattuck to right field. Another one for Gabby Shattuck. Her 10th of the season. The freshman has caught fire.
You nailed it, Chucky. Not only has the freshman caught fire, but now she's a spray power hitter. First home run to left, this home run outside part of the plate, lets it travel, drives it deep. That ball scorched. Right field wall, enters the double-digit home run club for Duke. Now the 5th Blue Devil with the long ball. Double digits.
And the Duke celebration that we have seen 100 times now this year. She should be all smiles the way she's playing down the stretch in this season. It's the 2nd time this year Howard has given up 4 home runs in a game. The other was against one of the other teams here this weekend back in February when they went out to Tucson and played Arizona.
And the ball definitely travels different here in Duke. Different elevation, different humidity levels. But I anticipate this regional will produce quite a few home runs.
Gabby Shattuck forced her way into this lineup. She was primarily a pinch hitter, kind of a substitute in the first half of the season, but she was 7 for 15 as a pinch hitter. So there was nowhere to go. What a diving stop and play at second. Taylor Ames Alexander laying out. Couple double plays and now the diving stop.
The defense for Howard is showing up big. Love the way that they are completely confident in the way that they can use that glove. Taylor Ames Alexander doesn't have to stand up. She can get it from her back.
5-0 Duke over Howard, top of the 4th inning, 7-2 in the hits category as we get set for a busy weekend here in Durham. 9th game with 4 or more home runs for Duke. That's tied for 5th most in the country. Marissa Young's having fun in the dugout right now, all smiles, as she has a freshman catcher who has quite the future ahead of her, quite the present as well.
And Marissa Young does not typically show a ton of emotion as a head coach in the dugout. We talked to her about it yesterday. She said, well, you have to remember, I've played for a lot of coaches with a lot of emotion, and when that happens, it used to affect me and the emotions I had in the game. So as I am a head coach now, I try to stay very even so that I'm not affecting the temperament of my players out on the field.
Is making some changes right now defensively. Kyrie Rodriguez enters behind the plate. Junior catcher comes in for Gabby Shattuck. Also made a change out in left field. Adeline Matthews departs. KK Mathis, the DP, will move out and see some time in left. And then over at first base, Jada Baker has entered the game as well.
So Mathis was in the DP spot. She now moves defensively over there into left. And the defense challenging at the plate, knowing that Lauren Jones does not have a lot of power. They will shift to the left side, anticipating that ball being pushed that way.
2-1 count. Mallory Wheeler back out for her 4th inning of work. Just what Duke needed. Wheeler to come out, and the pitch count maybe a little bit up. It hasn't been rapid fire, but part of that is the approach that we've seen from these Howard hitters, and not necessarily Wheeler struggling with command or anything. Lauren Jones 0 for 1 with a ground out to first base. Taps it right in front of the plate. Rodriguez busy immediately and makes a great throw to first, 1 out.
So important to make sure that you come in the game ready to go. It seems like the ball will always find the new defender. And with Kyrie Rodriguez coming in back behind the plate, important for her to be able to take advantage of a ball that sits right in front of her. Out of her legs quickly, picks it up. Nice little throw over there to first base.
That was moving too. She scooped that up with the backspin.
Yeah, in that situation, she could have let it roll foul, but the confidence that she had coming out from behind the plate, so important to get the momentum and get the throw.
I did see a final result, the first one of the weekend. Florida 12-0 winners over Florida A&M to open things up down in Gainesville. Two-one count to Taylor Ames Alexander. Three and one.
There has not been any movement down in the bullpen for Duke. Mallory Wheeler does have 2 complete games on the year. And I think she has the potential to go the distance here in this ball game.
Ground ball, Wheeler takes care of it, 2 away.
Well, the way you help yourself in the circle is just get the out yourself. It's so important to be able to defend your position. A lot of times the joke is there's a circle around the pitcher because she's special and we try to take the ball away from her, but a pitcher that can defend her position is so important to be able to keep her pitch count low and help out her defense behind her.
Ball 1 low to Micaiah Taylor, who is 0 for 1 with the ground out today. Just so important for Duke to get quality innings from arms other than Cassidy Curd. We know that when it comes down to it, Cassidy Curd's going to get the ball for Duke. She is going to have to be big in the postseason if they want to make a run, if they want to try and get back to Oklahoma City for the 2nd time ever. but outings like this and innings where Curd is in the dugout resting are so vitally important for Duke.
This is the season that Cassidy Curd has thrown the most of her career, but she knew that it was going to be a heavy lift this year and really took her off-season preparation seriously.
Into center field, that is absolutely ripped by Taylor. She will try for two, and it is a two-out double for Micaiah Taylor.
Great piece of hitting by Micaiah Taylor. When you know that you're getting pitched on the corners, you need to find a side of the plate to attack. And so with this pitch coming in, it did not find a corner. It sat inside, and by driving her hands inside this ball, did a great job of getting it into the gap. And even though we know Jennings has a really good arm, there's a lot of speed out there to be able to get a double, put herself in scoring position.
First baseman number 10, Cheyenne Castile.
Can Howard get on the board? Cheyenne Castile swinging first pitch. There's a pinch runner at second base, Aria Allen for Howard. Seven stolen bases on the year for her. That is knocked down by Jones and bobbled enough that Castile can reach first.
Well, and not only was it a great job by Castile to find the line and get herself to first base, but look at the heads-up base running by the pinch runner Allen to be able to sneak in right behind Tyrena Jones, who was struggling to put a fork in that one.
And that will initiate a pitching change for Duke. Wheeler will depart, and the redshirt freshman Ava Bradshaw will enter for her postseason debut. First and third here in the fourth.
Duke has a new pitcher.
Three and 2/3 for Mallory Wheeler, 4 hits, a couple of them back-to-back here in this fourth inning, and she is responsible for the runners on first and third as she makes way for a redshirt freshman from Michigan, Ava Bradshaw, who hasn't thrown since game 2 of their regular season finale series against Clemson, gave up 7 earned in 3 and 2/3, but she was on a great run before that with just 5 earned in her last 16 innings pitched, and another one who they need to get the confidence rolling right now.
It's important to make sure that everyone in the bullpen is ready to go. Support for Cassidy Curd is going to be imperative as they go down the stretch. Ava Bradshaw relies on her curve to both sides, then mixes up and arm side run with a rise and a screwball at the belt. She will flash that changeup, but doesn't really rely on that pitch. For me, this outing right now is to build confidence and keep some innings off of Cassidy Curd's arm.
Howard has a pinch runner at first base. He's number 0, Nakaya Lee.
Nakaya Lee, a true freshman from La Mesa, California, will run over at first base. She was third team all-conference and is 6 for 6 stealing bases. Big spot here for Angel Riggins. Inside, Rodriguez keeps that off the dirt to keep the runner at first base. Riggins, one of Howard's 4 hits on the day. Can they get on the board? They almost did right out of the gates in this game.
Really good spot, making sure that Bradshaw comes into this game and fills the zone with strikes, allowing her defense to play. With runners at first and third and 2 outs, I don't anticipate to see the runner going in motion to create havoc.
Three-one from Bradshaw. Ball 4, bases loaded here in the 4th.
First walk given up by Duke today in a tough spot now. Tori Tyson gonna call time and have a conversation with her offense.
Tonight after the game, stay right here for All ACC with complete reaction and highlights from across the conference. Catch it on ACC Network and stream it on the ESPN app. The hitter due up for Howard is the center fielder Amira Lennon, who has their 3rd best average on the season, has tremendous speed.
But to that point, not really an RBI producer, as she's changed her hitting motion this year, has become more of a slapper, walking or running through her contact. So here, potentially looking for a chance to pull a bigger bat off the bench, but also giving a chance for Riggins, the only hitter to have seen Bradshaw, communicate to the hitters what she saw at the plate to help them be successful.
Tori Trotter will get the opportunity, a junior from Lacey, Washington, who is making the 29th appearance of the season. 24 of them have been as a substitute, but is hitting .364 on the year, 8 hits in 22 at-bats. Low for ball 1 to Trotter. What a spot to hear your name called. Take strike 1.
You mentioned she has 8 hits on the year. 3 of them have been for extra bases, 2 doubles and a triple this season. So a little bit more potential to drive this ball into the grass and get Howard on the board.
She puts this in a gap. It could clear the bases, but takes strike 2, and now in a tough spot, 1-2 against Bradshaw. Fouls it off.
And that's what you're looking for, just spoiling pitches, find the one you're trying to attack. You mentioned it already, Chucky, it's a tough spot to come off the bench, knowing this is their best chance to put a run on the board here in this game so far.
Two and two.
Very disciplined at the plate, not going with a swing on a pitch above the eyes. Sometimes the heart rate of a pinch hitter can be elevated, but a great hold.
Up and in, almost got Trotter, and it is a full count with nowhere to put her. Three-two. Another foul ball.
Allowing that ball to travel deep, giving her time to read the spin and location. Big moment for the pinch hitter.
3 of Howard's 4 hits today, excuse me, have come with 2 outs. This is a gritty at bat right now.
Well, and you can tell she's late to contact, but she's making good decisions, making sure that she sees the ball out of the hand of Bradshaw to capitalize on a strike and not get fooled on something out of the zone.
Quick conversation for both coaches here. Marissa Young talking to Ava Bradshaw, her young pitcher who missed last year. So this is her postseason debut in this situation.
Yep, red-shirted 2025, tore her ACL for the second time, but then was able to sit alongside the coaches all season long, and that has helped shape her mentality and gotten her to a place where she feels ready for this opportunity in the postseason.
Trotter fouls another pitch out of play.
And this is the kind of at-bat you want off the bench. You don't need the big swing and miss power swing. You want that hitter coming off the bench ready to attack strikes and put herself in a position to be successful.
Pitch number 10. There's not been a strikeout in this game for either team. Another 3-2. She walked. What an at-bat from the pinch hitter, Tori Trotter.
That's impressive, Chucky. I don't know that my heart rate has recovered for her, because in that situation, she saw so many pitches and was able to just get enough barrel on it to spoil it and continue to stand in the box with confidence. What a fantastic at-bat by the pinch hitter Trotter. I mean, to be able to show that kind of discipline on a pitch up in the zone, that shows that she trusts her hands. She was letting the ball travel deep on so many of those pitches. And look at the celebration going down the line. First run of the board and first run of the game for Howard.
Now the tying run steps to the plate. First pitch strike on the inside corner. This is also a pinch hitter, Khalees Stewart, a senior from Lee Summit, Missouri. She's got 7 hits on the year and 6 RBIs. Slow roller right side is scooped up, and that'll do it for the 4th. Howard on the board, trailing Duke by 4. We will talk to the Duke head coach, Marissa Young, coming up next. Going to the bottom of the fourth in Durham, Duke leading Howard 5-1 in our opener this weekend. We are joined by the 9th-year head coach of the Duke Blue Devils, Marissa Young. Coach, a lot of familiar faces, but a lot of faces that are new to this moment and to you in this moment. What did you tell this team specifically?
We just got to keep doing what we've done all year. Regionals is an exciting time, especially being able to host at home, but we just got to continue to play it one pitch at a time.
Well, Cassidy Curd has been such an important part of your ball club since she stepped on campus. How do you see your pitching staff going through this game and also through the postseason?
Yeah, I think Cass has done a lot of pitching for us down the stretch here, so being able to get Mal and Ava back out there to get some innings under their belt as we move into the postseason, that's just going to help us from a depth standpoint.
Thanks so much, Coach.
Thank you.
Being able to utilize Cassidy Curd in critical moments is going to be important for them as they try to navigate not only through a really difficult regional and move on to supers, but to find a way to get back to Oklahoma City. They did it 2 years ago, and that was behind the arm of Cassidy Curd and Jayla Wright. With the departure of Jayla Wright, who now sits to Marissa Young's left in the dugout as an assistant coach, it's important for them to find ways to utilize Cassidy Curd correctly to be able to get deep into the postseason.
There's Jayla, who will play on this field this summer as a member of the Carolina Blaze. It'll be her first year in the AUSL. And who knows, maybe we'll see her link up with Cassidy Curd. She was not drafted, but you can see the college athletes enter the reserve athlete pool and potentially be signed due to injuries or other absences throughout the summer.
Well, talking about Jayla Wright, she mentions how unique it is now to step into a coaching role. She's been in this dugout for many years as a player, but now stepping back in as a coach, she looks at Coach Young and gets frustrated with the pitchers at times and says, was I this frustrating as a pitcher? And Coach Young just smiles because everybody has their moments.
Strike one to Kyrie Rodriguez in her first at bat. She entered actually for the left fielder Adeline Matthews. See Jayla Wright out there alongside Amina Vega and the other All-Americans here at Duke. Big swing from Rodriguez, 3-2.
In this bottom of the lineup, you can't stress enough how important they are to be able to flip things back over to those hitters that we continue to talk about that are setting records. Balls leaving the ballpark. Adeline Matthews sits in a really imperative part of the lineup to be successful, to set up what we now see coming to the plate.
Rodriguez walks to lead off this fourth inning, and now to the top of the order with Deanna Jennings as Duke leadoff hitters. Jenny now 4 for 4 on the day.
And while we haven't seen a ton of walks in this ballgame, 4 of them have come off of the arm of Aiko Conway. And the last 2 innings, it's been leadoff walks.
Ball one outside to start off Deanna Jennings. Is strike one to Jennings, who is 1 hit away from the single season record at Duke. She sits at 80, matching a total both she and Amina Vega have posted in their careers. Fouls this out of play.
And to have 2 hitters like Vega and Jennings hitting back-to-back in the lineup, while they have different setups and different tool belts that they pull from to be successful, having that confidence sitting right next to each other in the lineup is so important because it gives you a chance to see a lot of pitches and find a way to exploit what's going on out in the field.
2-2. Tori Tyson thought that might have been strike 3 on Deanna Jennings. Ground ball right side, it'll get down the right field line. Jennings wants two, and she'll have it. A double for Deanna Jennings, and she just broke the Duke single season record for hits in a season.
And now the race is on. Who is it that's going to get this title? Because with Vega hitting right behind her, she's going to try to do the exact same thing. In that at-bat, I was impressed with the way that Jennings adjusted her feet. Early in the at-bat, she saw that she was trying to get pitched inside, so then backed off the plate, then went back to toes closer to the line to get that pitch right down the line.
Second and third for Amina Vega. Vega lifts this to right field, back toward the track, and it's caught. A really nice grab by Riggins out in right field. It will score a run, and Jennings will reach third.
Well, and that was actually not played correctly by Jennings at second base with a deep fly ball to right field and a runner at third. She needed to be held over there, put her foot on second base to tag and advance. But you're now seeing how fast Jennings is, because even after being halfway to third base, had enough speed and time to go back, touch second, and still advance to third.
That is up and in. Oakland kind of looks at the home plate umpire, but must have hit the handle.
Well, look at how fast she is able to get to third base, and that's a casual sprint for Jennings. That's not even her pushing full velocity.
That RBI for Amina Vega was number 60 on the season as Jessica Oakland jumps ahead in the count 2-0. Or it's 1-1 because that last pitch was a foul ball. Oakland to left in foul territory and caught, but it is deep enough to score another one.
Well, and Oakland got jammed up on that, but you can see the kind of bat velocity that she's able to generate to be able to fight that one off, get it deep enough for another run to be plated by Duke.
Nobody on for Tyrena Jones with 2 outs. That is hit a long way and a long way foul.
Way ahead of it. Obviously the timing not quite right, but at the same time, inside pitch, that's exactly what you do. Yank it, it's a strike, but it sets the tone.
How impressed are you with this Howard defense today? We've seen a couple double plays, diving stop over at second, Riggins with a nice over-the-shoulder catch in right.
And not only that, but they're thinking a play ahead. So it's not just the out that they're making in the moment, but it's also figuring out where the throw needs to go to prevent extra base advancements. And that's what Coach Tyson was doing yesterday at practice, really drilling this ball club on execution in the moment.
That is also up and in. We've had a couple awkward ones up at the handle of these Duke hitters. 0-2 for Tyrena Jones. Don't miss a minute of the action from the NCAA softball regionals. We'll take you to the best live action on the 7 Innings Live show on the ESPN app. You can see every game and every big moment on the road to the Women's College World Series. What is it, just a 12, 14-hour day for the folks in studio? Chris Budd and Alyssa Lang, Torvid Allison, Tara Henry?
Yeah, I think it's fine. I mean, they'll be able to just hang out in studio all day, cover all 16 regionals.
I mean, it's 2 separate crews, so really.
I mean, how hard can it be?
You only have to know 64 teams, as opposed to the 4 we had to learn this week.
I mean, 2 games at each site, so 32 games today, and you know, rosters between 25 and 30 on each of those teams. They've got it.
One-two for Conaway. Jones line shot into center, and it's gone. That was a laser off the bat of Tyrena Jones, who just hit her second of the game and her 22nd of the season. Jenny, she had only hit one in the last 8 games. It was the record breaker against Clemson.
And the way that she's swinging it right now is just so impressive. They did not anticipate the kind of power and consistency she's been able to bring this year when the year started. So by coming in this year, she's filled a void where we saw the departure of Anna Gold last year, who was their big power hitter. Now this season, it becomes the Tyrena Jones show, second home run of the day, and just continues to extend the single season home run record.
Five as a team today, one in each inning so far.
When Tyrena Jones came in as a graduate transfer from Purdue, only hit 5 home runs last year, hit 241. This year, hitting well over 300, and that her 22nd home run of the season.
Layla Lamar homered in the first, back-to-back with Jones. Takes ball one outside. Well, there is a shocker going on in Tallahassee right now. Stetson leading Florida State 7-3. Two and one.
Florida State's another one of those teams, though, that doesn't panic when they fall behind. They have complete confidence in their bats, but I think they were a little disrespected when they did not get that top 8 seed. But a loss in the first round would not help their cause.
Inside corner, strike 2 to Lamar. This is why game 1 matters so much. 97% of teams with a game 1 win advance. Duke actually played one of them that did not fit into that mold a couple of years ago in Supers. Missouri lost their opener to Omaha, was still able to advance, and hosted Duke in Super Regionals, and that's how Marissa Young and company reached their first ever Women's College World Series.
Yeah, went in, became the spoiler, advanced to Oklahoma City for the first time in program history. They're hoping that they can find that little magic piece this year and do it again.
Lamar reaches for the 3rd time, back-to-back walks at the plate for her. Tomorrow is championship day in the ACC. Starts at 8 a.m. Eastern with the ACC Rowing Championship. And then at 2, it's the ACC Outdoor Track and Field Championships. Watch both of them on ACC Network Extra and stream all the action on the ESPN app. Pitching change, that'll be it for Aiko Conaway. And we will see the senior from Tucson, Arizona, Julia Holt, enter this game for Howard.
Howard has a new pitcher.
Well, Conaway ends up giving up 8 earned, 5 walks, no strikeouts. But she made some pretty good pitches, though, in the 3 2/3 that we saw her.
And knowing the way that Duke swings the bat, you've got to find corners the entire time, and that's what Conaway was doing. She did a really good job of dancing around, but a couple of misses allowed Duke hitters to find a lot of barrel. So those 5 home runs, putting up a bunch of runs on the board, is going to give way to Julia Holt in the circle. And she's learned some big lessons last season. She got hit hard, had to build a foundation, and now doesn't run from the strike zone like she did last year. She's become the best reliever Coach Tyson's had at Howard in her senior season.
31st appearance of the year, 27 of them out of the bullpen.
And her best pitch is going to be her curve, and it has a little uptick to it. She expanded her zone, or expanded her arsenal by adding a drop ball this season. She can get into trouble at times when her pitches miss over the plate, but she is not afraid to use her defense, so she will roll a ton of ground balls.
It has been the 1-2 recipe with her and Conaway this year, as well as Destiny Callaway, another senior who's had a good year. It's an important run over at first base for Howard to avoid allowing to score. With this being a 7-run deficit, the Bison will get an opportunity regardless in the top of the 5th. KK Mathis pops up the first pitch and playable, but the sun causing issues for Whipper.
And she knew that was a miscue on her fault, on her part. That ball straight up. Right now, sun sitting very high in the sky. She tracked it, but did not block the sun effectively to be able to rein in that out.
New life for KK Mathis. 1-1. Mathis, one of just 2 spots in the Duke order that have not reached today. Lined into a double play right back to the pitcher last time up. Another one popped in the air and playable. Taylor behind the plate. That one pops out of her mitt. They are making Julia Holt work for this.
Typically, when you see a catcher go after a pop fly like this, you like to get their back turned to the infield so that the ball doesn't get the spin out of the glove. So in that situation, another missed opportunity.
I'm going to slow things down a little bit and talk things over as a defense. Howard already has done something that they did not do last year when they played Duke here in this very regional. They were shut out 12-0 in 5 innings. So we have seen them with opportunities in the first inning. We saw them with a massive opportunity in the 4th, of which they got 1 run. So you're already seeing that growth. Tori Tyson was adamant that they weren't just here for fun.
Now, there's definitely a job to do, and you could hear the intensity in her voice yesterday at practice as she navigated the defense. And as she spoke to her pitchers, she wanted to make sure they all understood how important it was to be at the top of their game on every pitch and not take any moment for granted.
3-2. Popped up again. This time Castile at first makes the grab.
But not before Tyrena Jones does more damage at the plate. Outside pitch, extension through the ball, another line drive home run for Duke.
ACC baseball continues this weekend. Little in-state rivalry. North Carolina, NC State, Game 2 tonight at 7 on ACC Network. Then Game 3 Saturday at 2 on ACC Network Extra. Both those games also available on the ESPN app. If I'm not mistaken, Wake Forest baseball is in town today, taking on Duke this weekend. Saw them over at the hotel. How about Duke? 5-0 in regional openers, trying to improve to 6-0. These are the most consecutive wins. Georgia at the top of that list. Going back to Lou Harris-Champer and now Tony Baldwin keeping it rolling.
I mean, to see the kind of success that Duke has been able to put together in such a short amount of time, you can tell that Marissa Young came in with a plan and has been able to execute it just so well. Just hit the ground running. Got a couple of years under her belt to build a roster, build a stadium, and figure out the kind of culture that she wanted to have here, and you're seeing that play out in year 9.
Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 1 for Ava Bradshaw.
And strikeout number 1 for the game. We have not seen strikeout performances on either side here today, but a really nice spot outside, get some good wiggle at the end to get the swing and miss on the pitch, down and away.
Strike 1 to start off Marin Jordan. Infield single and a stolen base to lead off the game. He was cut down trying to score the first run of this game. Two and one.
You've talked about it a couple of times, Chucky, but just having competitive pitches near the zone to try to get the eye of a hitter to look for a swing is really important. Those big misses actually allow a hitter's eye to take the pitch off. Any opportunity for you as a hitter to not have to make a close decision helps you to be able to relax your heart rate. And so anytime you keep the ball near the zone, creating a hitter to have to constantly decide in the box makes a more tired hitter in terms of making those decisions.
Just got a piece of it, foul tip for a 2-2 count. Bradshaw steps off in a 3-2 count with 1 away. Nobody on in the 5th. Ground ball scooped up by Oakland. A little off balance, but gathers and makes the throw.
Typically, as a defender, you want to make sure that your nose is in front of your toes so that your lean is forward. In that situation, it looked as though Jess Oakland allowed her head to get behind her body, which gave her that stumble backward. So important to move forward through ground balls on the infield.
Ball 1 to the 2-hole Lauren Jones, looking for her first hit of this postseason. Lays down the bunt, some spin on it. Bare hand play by Jones.
That's a risky play over there on the hot corner, but it's kind of the only play you have as a third baseman, coming in hard, knowing the kind of speed that Jones has down the line. Tyrena Jones comes away with a bare hand grab and an out to get out of the inning.
NCAA Softball Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
That postseason atmosphere here in Durham, North Carolina. Duke living it up. 8-1 leading Howard as we go to the bottom of the fifth. The Blue Devils just one run away from ending this in 5 as Gabby Shattuck takes strike one.
Well, let's take a look at today's Capital One rewarding performance. It's Gabby Shattuck, and it's not just one, it's 2. She was back-to-back home runs in her first 2 plate appearances. She leads off this inning. She's got 10 home runs on the year.
Ground ball this time, scooped up by Whipper at third. 1 out.
It's almost like she was waiting for us to talk about her, because the pitch that she should have capitalized on was the first pitch of that at bat. It was left middle, it was left big, and by waiting, swung at a pitch inside, jammed her up, and got herself out.
Well, as you can see in the top right of your screen, Florida State is actually down to their final 3 outs. They are going to the 7th inning in Tallahassee, down 5 runs. So Stetson will hit, and then Florida State will have one last opportunity for a massive inning. The good news for the Seminoles is Issa Torres in the top of their order are going to lead off that 7th, but we will keep an eye on that as this game moves on here in Durham. Outside to Jayla Stafford. First plate appearance of the day for, or excuse me, this is Jada Baker, and this is her first plate appearance of the day. Came in at first base earlier in the game for Jayla Stafford. .3-0. If you are looking for Stanford and Princeton, that game is starting on the ESPN app. We'll get you there at the conclusion of this one. Just a lot of teams, and Stanford's one of them. You just think, yeah, they could make a run. If they're playing their best, they can beat anybody.
And I think that's the message for every team, making sure that you step on the field ready to go. It looks as though Florida State might get surprised in day 1, but that's what teams are playing for, is opportunities to win in the postseason. Stetson obviously taking advantage of some miscues that Florida State has not been able to capitalize on, and then have got a 5-run lead. And while Florida State's a team that never really panics, I think 3 outs to go and a 5-run deficit is a moment to maybe have some pretty hard conversations within your dugout to rally and find a way to get that win.
To left field, it's a no-doubter. Kyrie Rodriguez walks it off with a 2-run shot. The 6th for the Blue Devils today.
The home run power completely on display for Duke here today in a run rule win over Howard. 6 home runs in the ballgame, breaking their single-season home run record here at Duke. Commanding win to open things off in the Duke Regional.
Sixth straight season with 40 or more wins for Duke. And they are off on the right foot. They'll get the early game tomorrow, 1 Eastern, for a shot at the regional final on Sunday. Howard will await the loser of Arizona and Marshall in our first elimination game tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern. The postseason underway here from Durham. One more game coming up, Marshall, Arizona, over on ESPN Plus in about 30 minutes. Let's get you to Stanford and Princeton with Trey Bender and Natasha Watley.